One of my heroes said something once. It was this.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name.
Take heed that no man deceive you. Wow, guys. Such a powerful thing to say to someone about anything. If you tell someone, yeah, make sure you don't get tricked. Make sure no one's lying to you and you believe it. So someone warned us, the King of Kings warned us about a time when he would be coming back. And his disciples 2,000 years ago, they asked him,
The sign of thy coming and of the end of the world.
What would be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So 5 years ago, something happened in the world. A specific truth that most don't even consider to be truth was shown to people in the world. And these people in the world did exactly what Jesus said in that case too. Here we go.
But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. And ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning.
And ye also shall bear witness. Boy, do those words have meaning the last 5 years of my life when they didn't before. And from my point of view, how can I explain that to someone? That's nearly impossible to explain to someone. I was shown a supernatural truth. How? In a supernatural way. How's that? It's written down in this book that we've had our whole lives. No, I already know that book. It's not written in there. Oh, it is written in there. Well, I don't see it being written in there. Well, maybe that's because you're deceived. Jesus said, take heed that no man deceive you. He told us specifically about this time.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen.
He's flying in the clouds now, today, and for the last 5 years. He's been uttering his voice. And he's shown truth to people. And he prayed about this, that this would happen. And he foretold this happening, that he would send people into the world and that the world would hate them because they weren't of the world. Well, we just heard him say, ye also shall bear witness because you've been with me from the beginning. That's a deep thing. They're not of the world. They've been with him from the beginning. I don't think they realize that or know it or comprehend it, but they will. Here, let me show you something that this was Jesus praying to the Father in heaven from the earth in a man's body when he was Jesus on the earth 2,000 years ago.
These words spake Jesus, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee.
Okay, this is the same chapter. Listen to what he says a little bit later on.
I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word.
Listen what it says. This is such an important verse. He has manifested his name to people in the world. And they know something. They've been telling you that they know something. Something we were all misunderstood about, and even worse, we were deceived about.
Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee.
Listen what he says here. I'm witness to this in my life. And I'm not saying that in order to do anything but to bring attention to this prayer that he's praying, that it is coming true, you guys.
For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me.
We believe in the words that Moses wrote. We believe in the words that all the prophets wrote. And here's some examples. The firmament of heaven. Dark waters above. Just a couple examples of things that I didn't believe before. There's waters above the earth in the sky. I didn't believe that before. But now I've received it. And I know that it's the truth. That's why I'm saying that this is a supernatural thing. It comes in a supernatural way. A lot of people would say, God spoke to me. I don't think they always mean that they heard him say something. He speaks without words, and he speaks in his word. And that's how we know it's him. It's written on the pages of the Bible. Now listen who he's praying for, though, because I want to make the clear distinction that there's a lot of people, there's a world full of people who hear this information and it's crazy to them. This truth is crazy to them. It's something they laugh at and ridicule, especially if they haven't had an opportunity to consider it in their heart yet. But there's those people that haven't seen it or heard it, like Thomas. When Jesus was resurrected, Thomas didn't believe it until he saw it. And Jesus said, "Blessed is he that believes without seeing." And there's this other group of people in the world that's a ridiculed group, but they claim that they see something. And this is also my testimony. I do see something. I do see a truth that was hidden, that was kept secret from the world. And it's such an important truth because listen, Jesus is praying for the people who don't see, the people like Thomas that don't believe until they see something. This is who he's praying for. Listen what he says here.
I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
So he's praying for the people that bear witness. But he's not only praying for them. A little bit later on here. Well, this is important here. I'm trying to find it, sorry.
Thy truth.
Okay, I guess I'm going to... Okay, he's still talking about the people that he was given.
Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for this...
Oh, how many people can testify that they have been sent into the world? I can. I'm on a mission that has nothing to do with my old understanding of things. I'm on a new mission, and it's about truth. And just because a world believes a lie, a whole world of people believes a lie, doesn't mean that the truth is not the truth. So then he says something about the other people so he's praying for the people that are not of the world. But listen to what he says here. I think it's right about here, probably.
These alone.
Okay, a little bit further forward, sorry. Here.
Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word.
So applying that to what I believe, applying that to what I see happening in the world, God's praying for the people that don't see this truth, to believe it, even though they don't see it, to believe it because of the people that he sent into the world, that he may bear witness the truth. He said, remember, he said in John 15, ye also shall bear witness. I think we're there at that time when people are bearing witness. So if there's a gospel being preached, I know what it is. And it's already led millions of people to know Jesus that didn't know Jesus. So if you're a person that has not considered it in your heart, and I mean like just on your own, not in some debate, thinking about these things is how you can hear his voice, because he's uttering his voice right now, and I can hear it. And a lot of people I know can hear it. And I know a lot of you people that are friends of mine, and a lot of the people I know still consider this to be quite a strange idea. What about this? What about that? What about pictures from space? What about every single one of these topics or proofs or whatever you want to call it that allow people to still consider themselves to be paying attention, to ignore these truths, this specific truth. We live on a plane. How many examples could I quickly fire off that prove we live on a plane and not a spinning ball? I could probably go on for hours talking about these things. Is this room I'm in right now, the ground beneath it, that it's built on, that the foundation is on, is it spinning? In the real world, does the sun kind of stay in one position, and does the earth go around the sun? Or does the sun come up every day in the east and go over your head in the sky and go down in the west? What's reality? Is the earth spinning? The ground that I live on, I've never experienced an earthquake, so I've never experienced the ground move ever. So I have no reason to believe that it's rotating. If I was going to say something was rotating, it would be the obvious reality we live in, that the sky is rotating. And I have a lot of telescopes and optics and cameras, and on my channel, you can see me studying these things in the sky on a rotating around in a circle. I've documented it numerous times and ways on my channel. So there's one star that does not move. It maybe slightly moves a little, like very little, but it's in the center of all those stars. And it's called the North Star, Polaris. Every star goes around that. Now, planets are a different thing. They didn't obey God, and so they're in a prison of darkness, which people think is a place to explore because of their influence in this world. Their king in this world is Apollo, and he's the spirit of exploration. He explores the far reaches of the universe, which is darkness. One more thing concerning this being a gospel that's being preached. And yet, to be blunt, I'm talking about flat earth. But this gospel, let me leave you with this. Jesus, this is in the same chapter here that I'm going to play, is in the same chapter when his disciples asked him what would be the sign of the end of the world. This is in the same chapter where he said that. He was still talking about the signs that they would see. So pay very close attention to what another thing that he foretells us happening.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
My testimony, the only thing I really have to say about it, anything that's important, is this right here. I bear witness to the truth that came down from heaven and is not of men. It was hidden from men. It was kept from men. I bear witness to it because he showed me. And if you pay attention to what's happening, there is a gospel being preached in all the world. And it's the gospel of his kingdom because it's coming. It's at hand. So believe the gospel. And this is my experience too. I've seen hundreds of people simply investigate this strange topic. Jesus doesn't care what shape the world is. You hear all these things about it. And I get what people are saying. They're saying the earth isn't important itself. It's Jesus. Yeah, but what about what he told us? Do we believe that? If we don't believe that, then we don't believe him. So there's an example of this in John 16. You can look it up yourself. I think it's verse 8 and 9 or something. He said when he sent the Spirit, it was to reprove the world of sin because they didn't believe in him. And I'm here saying that I believe he sent the Spirit 5 years ago because we didn't believe in him. Many of us love him. That doesn't mean we believe him. That's it. That's it. I bear witness to something I didn't before, and it is it's salvation. That's what I was saying. Isn't so many people have atheists have said Earth isn't flat, you morons, and have I personally know people on Facebook that I've had private messages with back and forth, and I've watched this happen to people. They come and insult you and say, where do you get this quirky, weird idea about the earth being flat? Why is everybody talking about this all of a sudden? And a few weeks later, they're talking about Jesus. How does that happen? It doesn't happen because of me. That happens because the Spirit came and he's reproving them of sin because they didn't believe in him. And it's all because of Genesis 1, you could say. All because of 6 days of literal creation that made the world we're in when he spoke the words. Those words are important. Let there be light. and there was light. Okay, those words are important. So there's a lot of people that are Christians who love Jesus that don't believe in the waters above or the firmament, or that God's throne is literally up in the sky. And that's another topic I talk about all the time, is rockets. This is the other, this is these kings of the earth in Revelation and in Daniel 7 and 8. They're fallen angels, and their technology is going to destroy the earth. Loud, noisy chariots shake the world apart at the end, and the stars fall. The powers in the heavens will be shaken. The powers in the heavens will be shaken. So look forward to that day, because we're going to face that day, and then everything changes and everything gets judged, I think. And we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm sure everyone's concerned about that. All right. I just had to say this. This is real, you guys. A lot of people are believing that we live in the end of days in the front of their mind, but their heart doesn't believe it. I'm saying, pay attention to what Jesus said would happen. It's happening. All right, that's all I got to say for today. Have a good one, guys.